So I get 3 types of comments on this channel. I get the good comments, love them. I get the trolling, which makes no difference to me at all. And then I get constructive criticism, which I deeply think about. And so imagine this, somebody that makes videos saying, maybe I could have done something differently. So this video is a response to that in many ways, in that I had to think about the key words of this channel, which is honesty, which is information, and kind of this no BS approach to fitness. And so this video really is provided with the intention of giving you good information, which may help you with your training. So you've all heard this concept of volume, which links to hypertrophy, an increase in muscle size. Now, one of the most effective ways of volume training is through something known as German volume training. Essentially, what it is a 10 sets of 10 method. And it uses very simple exercises, as little as 2 exercises per workout, although you can add accessory exercises as well. You're looking at somewhere around 60% of your 1 rep max to hit your 10 reps. When you think of 10 sets of 10, you need to use an efficient exercise selection. And this is where compound exercises and the old school barbell exercises really are worth their weight in gold. And this leads me to this kind of trend in YouTube fitness where people are bashing on the more traditional barbell exercises. They take one small concept of training. They therefore criticize a squat or a deadlift and promote these alternative methods. Alternative training methods can be fantastic, but these kind of videos which say that a deadlift or a bench press are redundant, these are redundant statements because these exercises can be absolutely vital in your macro cycle. I will come to periodization soon. But when it comes to volume training, where you're using essentially 2 exercises per session, you need to choose compound exercises. And really there's nothing better than the barbell exercises. And so that's what I want to get to first. You have 10 sets of 10. Now what makes German volume training slightly different to other volume training? Well, it's these key factors. The first one is the tempo of your lifts. Now, this is vital. This wraps into this idea of volume, which creates time under tension, which stimulates muscle fibers into creating micro tears, which therefore helps to rebuild them with the response and the recovery into a larger muscle. And so when you have volume, the tempo is important, not just for time under tension, but for this concept of intramuscular tension. So in volume training, you're going to use a slow negative, as much as 4 seconds on the negative phase. And then you're going to be explosive through the positive. So if you take a squat, you're going to lower down for 4 seconds. Then the temptation is to rise in a steady manner through the squat. But you want to be as explosive as you can through that positive, through the concentric, because that creates this intramuscular tension. And something which people neglect a lot with their training is stimulating the nervous system. People focus on muscle fibers and muscles, and rightly so. But it's stimulating the nervous system, which of course is tied into activating muscle fibers, which is essential. Then we have short rests. Now you can either superset the 2 exercises, or you can have a traditional 1-minute rest between exercises. If you're supersetting, you're probably going to increase the rest slightly to around 90 seconds. But this short rest, again, it will keep fatigue on the muscle, so when you go to your next working set, you are not fully recovered, which is a tool in itself to help to stimulate the muscle fibers into adaptation. And then with any training program, you're going to progressively overload. So once you adapt to the weight, your 10 sets of 10, let's say you're bench pressing 10 sets of 10 with a 4-second negative and explosive positive. After a few weeks, the 10 sets of 10 might become too easy. You simply increase the weight. That's basics. That's the basic principle of training. But not just that, your frequency. So generally, I would say that frequency is vital as a principle of training. You want to train muscle groups as frequently as possible throughout the week, ensuring that you have enough rest and recovery for the response. But with volume training, because it's so intense on your nervous system, on your muscles, on your joints, you actually want to give your body time to rest. So this is one format of training where hitting muscle groups once a week is valid. Now, generally the split for German volume training, it will generally be about 3 sessions per week. So it is going to be more of a chest and back, a legs and a shoulders type split. So for example, with a chest and back, it could be 10 sets of 10 barbell bench press and 10 sets of 10 pull-ups, for example, or weighted pull-ups. That would be a very efficient way of volume training. You could then add some accessory work at the end. But something I really want to get to in this video is periodization. If there's one thing that you take away from this video, please take away periodization. Now you have channels like Athlete X, and his slogan is train like an athlete. And when we think about this, we might think about exercise selection, which is important. But what all athletes do is they periodize their workouts, because through structuring your workouts in terms of periodization, you are ensuring that you are continually adapting the stimulus on your body, and therefore you're ensuring that principles of training such as progressive overload are going to take place, which therefore ensures results. So what is periodization? Essentially, it's a way of breaking up your training. You'll have a macro cycle. This can be as long as you like. Now you're going to break that down into mesocycles and microcycles. The mesocycle generally 4 to 6 weeks. And you have linear and undulating periodization. Linear periodization is very structured, very organized. You're moving from one block to the other. Within each mesocycle and microcycle, you're effectively using one training method. An undulating periodization is more for advanced lifters, where within each microcycle and mesocycle, you're consistently changing your training methods. But for somebody beginning, a linear periodization is perfect. So let me give you an example. And what I'm going to do is refer to Charles Poliquin, the famed strength and conditioning coach. And for German volume training, this is how he periodizes over a period of 10 weeks. The first 6 weeks, this is your first mesocycle, and you're hitting 10 sets of 10. Then the next 4 weeks, you're going to change your rep range. You are going to move on to just 6 to 8 reps per body part and just 4 to 6 sets. And so therefore you're going to use a heavier weight, because you might think German volume training, 10 sets of 10, I'm just going to work through that. Yes, it's incredibly effective, but after those 6 weeks, you need to give a different stimulus to your body. You can go back to German volume training. You can go heavier in these 4 weeks. You could even still use 10 sets of 10, but change the exercise or change the tempo. The point is, something has to change in periodization. And really, to be effective, you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks. You need to make some sort of change for the next block of training. So I would invite you to research periodization and look at a way of introducing that into your training plan if you are not already doing so. So I'm James Linker. This is Shredded Sports Science. See you soon.